So what if I didn't cut him off? Our next topic is our favorite what if stories. This is whether it's injuries or like if a certain play didn't happen. I'm mostly going off injuries because one of my favorite players when I first got in the league, he was a wide receiver. I'll get into him in a sec. He was hurt, and I want to talk about him. I want to talk about one, maybe two quarterbacks that like one wasn't really injured. It was more of less injuring things, or injuring non-humans. The other one got injured on the field. I'm not even trying to make a joke about that. I just, you know,
You're trying to say it nicely.
yeah, for podcast form. But how about you start though?
Oh, well, I'll start because I'm pretty sure you came up with this topic because of a tweet that I had. Am I right on that?
No,
Really?
no, I don't even know what the tweet. What
'Cause
tweet?
I had a tweet about one of the best what if stories just yesterday. And
Oh,
then we
really?
started our notes document and you put that in there. So
I
I
was like
figured it was,
barely on Twitter yesterday, I swear.
anyways,
Until I tweeted is milk a lie? I wasn't really on Twitter.
the one that I tweeted about was Bob Sanders, the former Colts safety. You look confused.
No, I know
I
who he
know
is.
you're young. I know you're
No,
young.
he was a first or second team all pro one year. And then another
Yes.
year, I
So
believe he was also an all pro or a pro bowler. And then was just hurt every year
yeah,
after that.
he only twice in his career did he play more than 6 regular season games.
All right. I didn't know that. I didn't know it
And
was like that.
both times he was a first team all pro. One of those years in 2007, he was actually defensive player of the year because he was so good that year. And in 2006, he only played 4 regular season games, and the Colts had one of the worst defenses in the NFL. But he returned for the postseason, and they completely locked down all the competition besides the Patriots a little bit in the AFC Championship, and they won the Super Bowl. He had an interception in the Super Bowl. So from
Was
that,
that the Saints Super Bowl?
that was the Bears
The Bears. Oh,
Super
I'm
Bowl.
sorry.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
only
yeah.
played 2 games in
That
2009,
was the Devin
which was
Hester
this.
kickoff return.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So he first team All Pro 2005, Super Bowl run in 2006, Defensive Player of the Year in 2007, and basically played 11 more games in the next
In
4 seasons.
years.
The injuries, he could not escape them. And it was really sad because if he was healthy for his entire career, he could have been right there in the Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this because when he entered the league, I was 2 years old. And then when he was like basically done with the league, I was five. Like in 2007, like his last good year, I was five. So I apologize, everyone listening. I cannot add to this topic.
And that's why I'm here. I'm a
Yeah,
historian.
exactly. So but I have definitely watched videos on Sanders before because like I like hearing about like NFL history. It's just because I couldn't be there for the early 2000s, and I bet you're the same with like the 90s and stuff.
Mhm.
Even though you were born in the 90s, but not like really alive,
Right.
you know. But I definitely think that's one of the best ones, if not the best. My favorite one, though, I wouldn't say this is even close to the best one, but my favorite one would have to be one of my favorite players I've ever watched, Victor Cruz. Even before I got into the NFL, 2011, his second year in the league, in 16 games while only starting 7, apparently. He dropped 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, and tied the NFL record for a 99 yard reception.
Do you remember
20,
which team that was against?
2012, somehow he wasn't a
It
pro.
it was the Jets. It was a late December game when the
Yeah.
Giants were making the playoff run. He had a 99-yard touchdown. Fun fact.
I actually knew it was the Jets, but I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
I know in case I was wrong, I didn't want to say it. 2012, somehow he wasn't a Pro Bowler in 2011. 2012, he was a Pro Bowler. Started all 16 games, had 86 catches, almost 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. 2013, 14 games, 73 catches, 998 yards, 4 touchdowns. Still a good season, just didn't play all the games. It was supposed to be better than the season before in yards, at least, according to yards per game. And then 2014, this was the year I started watching. He played in 6 games, and then against the Eagles, it was Odell's rookie year. He did a corner route in the end zone. And then on the break, gone, just shattered. His lower half just gone. It was a knee, but right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, sometimes I get done with injuries because he missed a year after that. I think he got re-injured or something a little bit, like retweaked it.
He was never the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So he like completely tore his ACL like terribly, and he was doing good that season. Not up to his standards, but basically in 5 games, because I'm pretty sure this happened early in the game. I don't have the clip up. So if it was in the third quarter, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah.
Right.
So through 6 games that year, but really 5, 337 yards and a touchdown, which I mean doesn't sound great, but in reality it was only 5, I think.
And this was when Eli Manning had started to fall off. 2012 was really his last good year. 2013, he was terrible. And
he had another
mediocre
good year.
to average. Yeah, that was 2015.
Yeah.
Like
No, I wasn't saying it was 2014. I was just saying.
Right.
But yeah, and he was a really good player in general. Like obviously when you have 1,500 yards in your second year and 9 touchdowns, you're on pace to be like very special in this league. Even if Eli Manning's your quarterback, even if you're getting guarded by number ones every play.
And he was undrafted too.
Exactly. And imagine him if him and Odell, if he didn't get hurt, him and Odell would have been the best receiver duo in the league. Undebatable.
And he was only 28 at the time of the injury. It's not like he was old.
He wasn't old. So my what if of this is, what if Victor Cruz never got hurt? What would the Giants be? I think they'd probably be in a better spot now. Now Victor Cruz would be retired by now. Let's not get that wrong. But during the 2015 to let's say like 20, is that generous? Yeah. What would have happened? I actually made a very bad video on this. That was back when I like didn't have anything. I was just getting started with YouTube. So I did make a video on it, and it's really one of the saddest things in my opinion, besides the obvious ones of Sean Taylor and Pat Tillman and things of that nature. Do you have another one?
I have a lot actually, but since you went receiver, I'll also go receiver. But
let's do 2 each.
Okay,
all good.
Right. I'll go Sterling Sharp.
Ooh,
You heard of him?
Oh, come on now. I'm not that dumb, dude. He was a Hall of Famer, basically.
He was a receiver for the Packers in the 90s. He made 5 Pro Bowls, 3 first-team All-Pros. He was one of 4 wide receivers to win the Triple Crown since the merger, the others being Jerry Rice, Steve Smith, and Cooper Kupp, so solid company. He led the NFL in receptions 3 times, yards once, and touchdowns twice. He's the first receiver ever to have back-to-back 100-catch seasons. And in his final season,
really?
He had 9. Yeah.
Not even.
In his final season, he had 94 catches, 1,119 yards, and 18 touchdowns. And the 18 touchdowns were the second most ever in a single season at the time. Mm-hmm. But he had a neck injury, and just like that, 18 touchdowns, and then out of the league for good. Just like that.
Yeah.
And he was right there with Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin for the best receiver in the league at the time. He was a surefire Hall of Fame. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame anyways. Because
do you think he will, like later down the line?
Maybe as like a senior nominee, but I think it'll be
is that like a thing?
Yeah, like once you hit a certain point, you're no longer eligible. And then there's senior nominees who are specifically chosen, and then they have to vote on those.
Okay. I didn't even know. If you want me to be honest, I didn't even know that.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Well, I guess you're just a fake fan.
Sorry, I don't watch the NFL Hall of Fame game, dude. I'm kidding. But who does anyways? But that was just a joke. Do? You watch the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah. It's the
so
first
boring.
game, and I mean, I'm not gonna say I sit there and meticulously watch every single play, but I have it on the
like in the background.
I'd probably tune out like in the second half, but I still have it
okay,
on.
yeah. That if you sit there for the whole game, it's that you're a psycho.
I mean, I don't even do that for normal games.
Yeah, no one does. Yeah. But no, I mean, I wish I could have watched him, heard more about him, because you don't really hear about him anymore. Because I mean, it's everyone's made a video on it, and every like media outlet has talked about it probably once within their existence, especially like obviously when it happened, but you know what I mean. But I'm still split between two. One, I'm split between them because morally, and
That one, skip that one.
okay, so the one, all right. So here are the two: RG3 and Michael Vick. I like Michael Vick as a player. Obviously, he was a bad guy. I do believe he cleaned up his act. But he did his punishment. So, and then he's become a better human afterwards, in my opinion. You can disagree with me. I understand that if you do something like that, it's that you don't really come back from it, even though he technically did in the NFL and on the in the media. But I mean, he still did a terrible thing. And the other one is RG3, who I mean had probably the best rookie quarterback season, at least in the 2000s, or like this.
Don't disrespect Dan Marino.
No, in this century.
He's up there. Yeah,
well,
he has a case.
Top 3 at least, I think.
Yeah, I think Russell Wilson, and Big Ben probably all have a case. Big Ben was more efficient, but wasn't really asked to do much. So it's probably Griffin and Wilson.
RG3 in his rookie year was a Pro Bowler right off the bat, threw for 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a league-leading 1.3 interception percentage. And he ran why is it? It's hidden. Oh, here we go. He ran for 815 yards and 7 touchdowns with a league-leading 6.8 yards per attempt. I mean, he was electric from the start, like from the start. No one could stop RG3. And then the playoffs come around. Knee gone. His knee's gone.
The Washington field played a part in that.
Yeah, the Washington field is terrible.
And then just how the coaching staff handled it throughout the entire process, too. I just feel bad for him because if he was probably with
everything could have gone better.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still played a little bit. He was never played another. I mean, he only played 15 games that year, but still, he never played even close to 15, except for the year after where he played 13, but he went 3-10. And then he fizzled out. In 2014 was his last year with Washington. He played started 7 games, only threw 4 touchdowns and 6 picks. Then he went to Cleveland, where I thought, hey, maybe something could happen. No, he went 1-4 in 5 starts. He was still fun to watch, though.
I'm pretty sure he got hurt in week 1 that year, too.
Probably. I don't remember, honestly. That was 6 years ago. I don't remember week 1 of RG3's stint in Cleveland.
It was like an ironic story because he finally came back and then he got hurt in his first game. Like, that's why I remember it, not because I remember a specific.
Well, you're always like bashing me for like, oh, you don't know this guy from 2003 who played for 2 seasons and had 1,000-yard season. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm not saying the person you're thinking of. I was just saying in general. Like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I love the RG3 one because Washington, Kirk Cousins would have never been a quarterback in this league if RG3 never got hurt. We wouldn't even know who Taylor Heineke is nowadays. Carson Wentz would just be I don't know. I love Carson Wentz, but he would be a bum.